there's probably over 100,000 wells that's been put in, because I know DHEC, this was probably 3 or 4 years ago, it issued over 95,000 permits. Now, was a well installed that was issued for each permit? I doubt it, but gives you kind of an idea. It's probably well over 100,000 wells in the state.
They could track the wells that are being put in legally. The illegal wells, they have no way to track it. So really, I don't know that there will be a very accurate answer to that.
In terms of these older wells where people may not have anything like that in place anymore, how difficult can it be to see where those are?
Typically it can be real difficult, because typically those are close to the ground. Today's drilled wells, we have to leave them a foot above ground. So, you know, a lot easier to see those, of course. Then typically, if you know you have growed up vegetation around the well, could limit the visuality of it. So definitely the bored wells are more of an issue as far as knowing where they're at, the location of them as well, because they're so close to the ground.
Most of the time it's probably just people stumbling across them where they've gotten grown up and can't see them, don't know that they're there, and they were left uncovered. And boards have gotten rotten, just not had the proper cap put on them.
What should well owners do if they know they have a well on their property that's not in use anymore?
They should contact a certified well driller and have them come out and evaluate the situation. And if, according to the rules and regulations, if that well's been out of service for over 3 years, 36 months, then it, by law, is supposed to be abandoned. So I think the biggest issue is the enforcement, or actually knowing that these wells are being properly abandoned. You go to construction sites where there's new construction that goes on, and we've known that in the past that they'll just knock those wells over and fill them back in with whatever. And so of course that's not the way it's supposed to be done by the rules and regulations. It's supposed to be abandoned by a certified driller. And also a form is submitted into DHEC, a 1903 form, that lets DHEC know that that well was properly abandoned. The biggest issue is mainly getting the public education out there for them to know that a well that's inoperable, that hasn't been operating, that it needs to be abandoned properly, because it can affect the groundwater as well, because you know, you've got basically a tube that's going straight to the groundwater. So if it's not abandoned properly, it's very easy. Contamination can get there, and it can contaminate the water, you know, a mile, 2 miles down the road that someone may be drinking. So it's extremely important that these wells be abandoned, and be abandoned by a certified driller.
South Carolina Groundwater Association has a website that you can go on there and you can ask a contractor. You can submit that question to us. Depending on your area, once it gets to our administrator, she will put that question out to the area of one of our local well drillers that's part of our association.